Hello everyone, today I'm working on this Bachmann F7 and sometimes you buy something on eBay and it's not so hot, and sometimes you're also pleasantly surprised. So it was sold to me as an Bachmann F3 shell and then a Kato motor. So I said, perfect, I need this for parts. So when I opened it up, I was pleasantly surprised. It's actually a Kato motor, which is what I wanted, but the shell, it's a Kato shell, which is not that different from a Bachmann, but it's got a little bit of extra detail. Plus, it's mint, other than it's missing the light bezel and the windows. So I can use the other parts engine I had for 2 weeks ago to repair my F7, my Pennsylvania F3s, and get the window from that. So that is a really great little engine. It's got the original Rapido couplers, which I like, and the two horns are there. And since I gotta open it up to put in the windows, I may as well clean it up and lube it up. Well, look at that, the headlight bezel fell out of it. So that's great, I don't have to replace that. Awesome. So in order to remove the shell, there's a trick to it. There's four little places, four little tabs that hold the shell together. Once you know where they are, it becomes really easy, but somebody has to show you because it's not that intuitive. So all you need is 4 toothpicks or 4 little screwdrivers. Either way it works. Actually, I'm going to use the screwdriver just to guide my toothpicks in so that they go to the exact correct spot. There is a little bit of a trick to it, but once you know, it's easy. And then the other rear one, I have to go in this way. But once you know, it's easy. Oh, I forgot again, I have to remove the front coupler. So let me work on that off camera. I don't mind making mistakes, that's part of being human. So then use gravity as your friend, and the shell should pull out pretty easy. So it's just friction that's keeping it in there. And I'll show you how the windows, how the side windows hold the shell in. See, it has its tabs, and the windows just lock it in like that. Like I said, once you know, it's easy, but somebody has to show you. And then everything looks to be in really good shape. I'm going to start the disassembly. So you can remove this front cover and the plate that holds the trucks together. And then the gas tank also has these little tabs. Notice that they're different sizes, so you won't be able to put it on wrong. There's only one way that it can go. And then I'm going to loosen up these two screws. Yeah, everything looks good in here, like it's never been touched. So this should be a really good runner. My hands are a little bit dirty, I've been working on my car. Let's take a look at what we have. So this one, it's kind of a hybrid drive. Although it's not DCC compatible, it picks up electricity from the sides. So that's kind of neat. They both run good, it's just not DCC compatible. So everything looks good in here. I'm probably not going to do too much to it. It has the same types of cradles like the locomotive last week or a couple of weeks ago. So when you put it back together, make sure that these are lined up properly. I'm not going to do too much to it. Just put just a little bit of oil on the worm gears, and that's it. That should be enough. I like to spend most of my time working on the trucks. So let's do this front one. Since I have it in my hands, I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to clean everything using my brush. There's a little bit of hair there. Nothing scary. Just a tiny little bit of hair. So we're going to remove that. And then I'm also going to clean the wheels. I often take a look also at these contact strips, but they look pretty good to me. I'm not going to do anything to them. And I'm going to clean these with my my toothbrush and some dish soap and some water. Also, while I had the toothbrush out, I cleaned the shell. It wasn't bad, but it never hurts to have it very clean. And I also clean my wheels with my rag. That way I know they're 100% clean. There. Nice and shiny. You know, on some HO scale engine, it might sound like a little bit of fun to paint the wheels. But in N scale, I guess you could do it. But it's so small, you know, are you really going to notice it? Sometimes though, I get in the mood and I'll get up close to my engines and look at the wheels go by. But they look pretty good with this blackened finish. I don't think that looks bad to me. I mean, maybe one day I'll do it. We'll see. And then I'm going to put the trucks back together. This is the time if you want to use your gauge to measure the wheel, the spacing between the wheels. Now's the time. There's one tiny little hair that got stuck in there. Here we go. Can't have that in there. Yeah, definitely don't want to keep that hair along. So test it with your hands. Actually, it doesn't sound too right to me. I think I had enough hair there in that wheel to prevent it from running properly. Let's see what we got now. Feels pretty good. And then I'm gonna put the side frames back on. This will click into place. And you'll know if you did it right because there's no rolling resistance whatsoever. Now I can start putting everything back together. So make sure that the two little cradles are exactly where they go. Very important. And then what I'll do once I got it where it goes, I'll bring the other side of the frame in to hold it. Let me work on that off camera. Once you have it exactly where you want it, you can come in and bring your two trucks in. Now the back one, it's quite obvious which way it should go. You leave it just a little bit of slack. I started my screws, but they're not tight. So I give it a little bit of slack so I can maneuver these around. And the front truck also, it's got an arrow. So it's pretty easy to figure out which way it goes. And then once I have all this in, I can come in and tighten my screws. They're already started, so I just need to tighten them. So I use gravity as your friend. It's going to hold your trucks in place. And then I can put in the fuel tank. There we go. And the little part that holds the front coupler. That goes in from the front. Here we go. And then the shade for the little light. I'm going to test it on the bench just to make sure that the light works. Yeah, that makes sense to test everything before. That way once you, if you find out after you put the shell on that you get it on backwards, then that's bad. Oh yeah, it's on. Perfect. Good stuff. Now on my shell I'm gonna install my headlight bezel and the windshield. I borrowed the windshield from another unit. The Kato paint, it's shiny, but it's not shiny. It's flat, but it's shiny. And it's a nice contrast to the very shiny windows. They do such a nice job. So I'm gonna put the shell back on. Those cute little porthole windows, you're gonna hear them click when they're in their proper spot. Now I have to reinstall the front coupler, which I'm gonna do off camera because it's a little bit tough. It's a little bit tough, but it's not impossible to do it. Now I've got a new licking engine, and I kind of like this case, this Bachmann case. I'm keeping it. It protects the engine well. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.